Have you ever thought about why it's so silent? When you go to your settings, turn off music and turn on sound only. And why you don't really hear much people in the background. In fact, you don't hear anybody in the background. Well, I have a theory about this. The reason you don't hear anybody is because, think about it. You're either orbiting Mars or you're orbiting Earth. If you look out the back, you're obviously orbiting Earth because there's a whole bunch of areas that are just black, areas that look like crater zones. Obviously, where the cataclysm was kind of just unleashed. If you don't know what the cataclysm is, it's... just go check out the War Robots page on YouTube or Facebook. And I think they also have a Reddit forum. I'm not sure, though. But other than the ominous creaking of your gigantic space shuttle, like big enough to fit a Titan, which is way bigger than a building, like, this ship has to be about the size of a city. But you don't hear anybody else, just the creaking of your ship. And I have a couple more pieces of evidence to back this up. The supply drops, that would like the supply line. You see, it says supply line. That would explain why you get supply drops. Because you aren't working with a team of people. So you can go and just regularly get silver and stuff from jobs. You're alone. That's also why it takes so long to make components, upgrade robots, and stuff like that. Because you're the only one doing it. Think about it. In the workshop, it takes about 1 day to make 60 components. And if you had a whole team, that would obviously take a lot less time just to make 60 components. An upgrade usually shouldn't take that long if you had a team of people. But if it's only you working on it, it would take quite a while. Sometimes even a couple hours just to do some basic thing like fix your jump booster for your Griffin. And that would also explain some of the other things. The deals, for instance. You get deals from other corporations because they want to gain your trust. Because they want you to join them. But you don't. You decide to just stay working on your own. That would also explain the special deliveries. You trade different components, and in this case it's some sort of currency that you get from battles for special drops from other corporations. I mean, if you were working as a team of people, then you could just make these things, but you can't make a whole robot on your own, at least not fast enough. To make a whole robot, it takes at least 6 months if you're using the 3-day things and not really focusing a lot on that robot or weapon. If you're making it with a team of 6, or heck, even a whole corporation working on that one robot, it wouldn't take that long. Now, it also explained rewards for tasks. If you were a corporation or working with a team, then you would probably just give yourself thanks and be on with it using the stuff you got. But because you're working on your own, you have special rewards for doing work for other corporations. The black market. The black market is a very interesting subject. You spend enough keys, which you get from battles and other stuff, And the black market dealer gives you a special box. And if you were in a team, you could just craft all this stuff. Or if you were with a corporation, you could probably just, like, whip it up in a couple hours. So, that's one thing. And then the operations, that's a bit harder to explain. I'm not really sure what the pieces of lore for that is, but all these boosters and stuff, it's special stuff you find that helps you out for a couple of battles. And you see this robot right here, the Scavenger Griffin. Yeah, I have some speculations about its lore. You found this old griffin just sitting empty, and you noticed that it was like old and stuff, and people from after the cataclysm, but before now, which is in 2080, I think, it's been just abandoned by the people because either they died off and there's no other people there. That would explain why the cities are so empty. Because if there was a very large gang of people still living in the world, they'd probably stay in cities because it's where there's a lot of stuff like frozen foods and still abundant electricity for generators. In generators, I should say. There's water. There's a whole bunch of just like water tanks in cities. So I would stay in the city, honestly, if there was a apocalyptic event. The cataclysm. Now, these people were tough, and they were fighting for territory on the limited livable areas on Earth, and they made their robots look intimidating to try and make the enemy back off. That's why the Scavenger Griffin looks like this. It has spikes, it has a car engine sticking out of it, a very large car engine, might I say. It's got these spikes, again, like, the spikes make it look very intimidating to other enemies. So, you found this just empty in a city, and there's nobody around to operate it because they're all dead. Life is very, very hard on Earth right now, so they're all living on Mars or dead. And you're alone. So that's it for this little piece of lore for war robots. It's a very interesting theory. You should probably consider turning off music, turning on sound, putting your volume at full, putting your device on full volume, and just listening to the ambience of the hangar. You'll hear the creaking of the spaceship and some thumps of stuff falling from, like, the gravity shifts. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.